Hi everyone and welcome to One Six Figure Focus, and in this video I'll be reviewing the Luke lights, which are custom light kits specifically made for the IKEA BLALIDEN. Let's get started. Alright folks, so if you've been following the channel, I'm sure you've heard at this stage, watching any of the videos or any of the live streams, I'm sure you're aware that I used to have 5 Detolfs, sold them, replaced them with 7 IKEA BLALIDENs. Now, I used to pronounce it Blaliden, but then a Martin from Sweden reached out to me because I did ask people if they knew if I was pronouncing it right or wrong, because I had no idea, and he said it's actually pronounced Blaliden. Okay, so I hope I've got that right. I'm going to have to practice on that. So not Blaliden, but Blaliden. So I'm going to do my best to basically not say that word as much as I can because it's annoying and hard to pronounce. So this is my setup at the moment. I think I've moved Cable and Deadpool. I've moved Cable and Deadpool and replaced them with the DX08 Nicholson Joker and the Big Brothers Wonderland Special, also known as Peacemaker. So I've done reviews on the IKEA BLALIDEN, just the actual cabinet on its own. I've also done an IKEA BLALIDEN versus Detolf comparison, and now I'm doing a review specifically on the Luke lights. The link to their video or their website is in the description. I had Luke lights for my Detolfs, and now of course I have Luke lights for these particular cabinets as well. So this video is all about a review for the Luke lights that are Luke lights specifically for the lighting kit, specifically for the IKEA BLALIDEN, and also the channels that come with them. I'll explain what they're for as we go to the video. Anyway, let's get started on this. So this is the display at the moment, more or less. These cabinets are $100. I'm not going to dwell on this. I've kind of done my videos on them and the review on that. If you want my thoughts on the cabinet itself, go and check out that video. So this is what it looks like built, but also unlit, and these are 7 kits because I have 7 of these BLALIDENs, so therefore I'm going to need 7 kits. Now what comes in a kit? Well, that depends on kind of how deep you want to go into these, but when I say kit, I'm talking about these 3 things here. Okay, so the yellow box there, that's the actual lights themselves, and they're like $35. Just if you want to light one of these BLALIDENs, you're going to need basically a lighting kit, or what's in this bag, for each of your cabinets. Now they are expensive, they're $35. Now I've got the white tone. I prefer a cooler white tone as opposed to they do actually kits for a warmer tone, which is a bit kind of more orangey yellow, like your kind of like sodium type of temperature, sodium lamp temperature, that kind of thing. But I prefer the white tone lights with the higher Kelvin. I just think it's a nicer, fresher, cleaner looking light. Now inside in that bag, it's basically a long string or long wire, and as you imagine, like there's 4 cabinets, so they all need to be lit from the top. So in that one wire, because they're all custom made, you have these LED light strips, which are specifically, they're custom made. They're made to fit the width of these cabinets behind me. So you have 4 of them. So it starts off, it's like on one side you have your LED lights, and on the other side you have just a blue piece of plastic, which when ripped off reveals a sticky layer underneath, and that's what you use them to either stick onto your cabinets, or in my case, and hopefully your case, stick onto the channels. These are these black channels pictured here. Of course, so what you're gonna have like, even though it's one long continuous wire, it's basically LED light strips with the sticky part on the other side, wire, another LED light strip, another wire, another LED light strip, another wire, and finally another LED white strips, because it's just you daisy chain them down. Lighting strip, wire, lighting strip, wire, lighting strip, wire, lighting strip, wire. So there's 4 lighting strips, one for each of the cubes of your cabinet. And then of course at the end of that you have a USB, because they're all USB powered. So if you want multiple, if you have multiple cabinets and you're getting multiple of these, you're going to need a USB hub. And I would recommend getting a smart plug so you could turn them all on with the touch of a button from your phone. You know, a plug that connects to your Wi-Fi instead of going in manually turning things on. So the bag itself there with the lights essentially and the USB and all that, that's $35. So they are not cheap. They're a good quality product, and the way I look at this is spend the money but spend it once, or buy nice or buy twice, whichever way you want to say it. They are a good product, but look, you can cheap out and you mightn't get the same effect. I actually personally really like these. Full disclosure as well, the first time I bought Luke lights I paid for them all in full, and I loved them so much then when I couldn't hold on to those Luke lights because they're for the detolf, and the detolfs are wider, so therefore they're slightly different. Also they had silver channels which wouldn't work with the black frames on these, whereas you can see the channels here I'm using are black. So I did reach out to Luke lights, and they did work with me on the price. I still paid for them, didn't get them for free, but and I didn't mind paying for them because they are a bloody good product. But yeah, now the next thing there are the channels. Now the channels here, they are aluminium channels. They're already black, so they're going to fit in with the decor. They actually help to frame the figure, because you know, obviously one of the things I like about these cabinets is they have that black frame and it matches the decor in the room here. Black desk, black cabinet, a lot of the artwork on the walls have black frames, and yeah, the IKEA lac floating shelves are used as black as well to just make sense. So these actually help to complete the frame, because when you put these in position above and below, you know, the tops basically, and on the tops of all the cubes, it completes the black frame look. So, and then finally the diffusers. So you're either going to get just the yellow box here, what's in the bag there, which is just the LEDs, or you're going to get them with the channels which come with the other two things here, the things that is in the black things that are inside in the red box here, and the kind of cloudy plastic things that are in the green box here. They come together, the black channels and the cloudy diffusers. The channels are really important because they don't know that's where you stick the LEDs into, and also because the way that they're shaped, when you stick them on the top of the cabinets, on the top of the shelves, they angle the LED strip that you've just stuck into this down at a 45-degree angle, and it casts nice natural shadows on your figure. One of the things I really don't like when you have people if they've gone through the trouble of wiring up their, I don't know, garage shelves or detolfs or billies or whatever, but the light is too far in the back, and then all your figures look backlit. And that's cool enough, you get to see the silhouette, but you know, you want to see the colors as well. You want to see all the kind of things. You don't want it backlit. Another thing as well, the plastic things here, they're diffusers. What that does is, instead of seeing every single individual LED light on the LED lighting strips and making your display look like a Christmas tree, it blocks out some of the light and kind of not blocks it out, but it should I say blurs some of the light coming out and diffuses it and spreads it evenly, so you're getting, like, you know, light coming down and not just every individual light, so your display doesn't look like a Christmas tree. So I do think if you're going for these, go the extra mile and get the channels, the aluminium channels, either in black like you can see here, on silver, whatever your taste are. I think if you have the Balidens, the black frame are the way to go. Detolf, probably silver. So yeah, in total then, if you were to get everything in the yellow box, which is the bag containing the LED light up strips and sticky parts and USB, the diffusers, which is the kind of white kind of grey looking plastic thing here, and then the black channels. Now when you buy the channel kits, there for one detolf there's 4 aluminium black channels, but there's also 4 diffusers because there's 4 layers. And of course when you buy what's in the bag here, the LED the lights themselves, of course it's one long string, but enough to light up the entire cabinet, which is 4 different sections. So in short, if you have one of these Balidens and you want the same lighting kit that I have here, if you want the same effect, it's $67. If you have 10, it's going to be $670. So for every single Baliden you have, if you want the effect that I have behind me, it's $67 a piece. They are not cheap. That is probably the one drawback I'd have to say to them. Another drawback, I suppose, you can't really dim the lights. They're set at a certain brightness, and that's it. But again, that doesn't bother me. I really like the tone and the brightness that they're at. That's up to yourself. And I presume you could probably get a USB hub that you'd have some sort of control over the voltage going through it, and then maybe be able to increase or decrease, dim the lights if you want. But yeah, look, they are expensive, but you get what you pay for, and the product is good. Right, so this is what it looks like when it's fully lit up. Now, what you can see is, I'm going to come back to it later on, I've actually used cable trunking. And I will put the link to the cable trunking that I bought off Amazon in the description here. Cable trunking is really simple. It's just, they're long, 1 meter long black plastic channels. And on one side, I'll just show you here. See down here in this pink box here. On one side, so they're long, 1 meter long black plastic cable trunking. It's basically, you know, electricians use it to hide or tidy cables. If you don't want cables just hanging around en masse, they can unclip, you put in your cables, and then you reclip them, and you can open and close them as much as you want. Now what I did was, I just cut them into 4 equal sized pieces, so 4 25cm pieces. If you're in America, don't worry about it, just cut the big long stick into 4, you'll work it out. And you'll see the blue strip on these because they're already ready to stick on to the insides of these Blalidens. You're probably thinking, if you have the channels, why do you need these? Because unlike the D-Tufts, these have no metal frames, so you're going to need to hide the cables somehow that are on the inside. They kind of actually do disappear naturally behind the doors, but if you're looking from an angle, you might be able to see them then, so I think it's good just to get rid of them. Shout out to Ryan, aka Jetta Patrol. He was the first person I saw doing this, and it is a really, really good idea. Now, he had ones that I think were a different color, and he had to paint his. So I was like, oh, I don't want to have the hassle of painting anything, so I just ordered the ones that were already black. And they come with adhesive, so again, cut them up into 4 pieces, stick them on, and you know, and then you can put your cable in or whatever. I'll show you later on the video what that has. The video at the end, you can see me, I'm just pointing them out, you know. So yeah, there's that. Right, so what, and if you look at these arrows here, what I've done that is basically showing you after cutting up these 1 meter long black cable trunkings and sticking them on, cutting them up into, like, you know, 4 equal sized pieces. That's where they go. They stick there because it's and it alternates them, because that's where the wire comes down. See, the wire goes back and forth, okay, and it just acts to hide your wire and tidy it up. So this is what the 7 looked like together before putting anything in. Even just there like that, it just looks clean, like, and that was before I just cleaned the glass and then popped in the figures and stuff like that. But here you have then kind of more or less what my first setup, not too different to what I have behind myself. I think there's, yeah, like I said at the start of the video, I moved out Deadpool 2 and Cable and replaced them with the DX0889 Joker and Peacemaker. So yeah, look, I'm really, really happy at how this turned out. It afforded me, obviously the reason of doing it is getting rid of those 5 D-Tufts means I could replace them with 7 Blalidens or Blalidens. I'm never going to get used to that. Because they're narrower, just means I can fit in an extra 2 cabinets, giving me an extra 8 display spaces if I am doing 1 figure per shelf, which I tend to do. And look, just from that angle there, you cannot see any wires. You know, maybe if you came up close, but I think it's a very, very clean look, all controlled by, they all feed in underneath these Blalidens, and they all feed into a USB hub, and that feeds into, then connects into a smart plug. So yeah, so just that's more or less kind of how I did it. The review and the Luke lights, they're expensive. That's the only drawback I can really see. I have heard people say that, you know, they'd like to be able to dim them, but again, not a deal breaker for me. What I like about them is that they're already custom made. You don't have to go cutting LED strips or customizing your own. They're ready made. They're the right size to match the width of the Blalidens, and they already have the USB attached. And yeah, just really easy to install. Also really like the channels, so you get that 45-degree light coming down. You can see, say if you look at the Iron Man Mark 47 there, you can see that light strip there is already it's at an angle of 45 degrees, so it's casting natural light down the Mark 47 there. It works really good with head sculpts here, like Boba Fett there. And also the diffusers, so it's just a strip of light there, and you can't see every single individual LED. You can kind of see it in the reflection, funnily enough, but you can't see it there, so it's not looking like a Christmas tree. All right, just taking a quick look at one of these Blalidens and the Loop light wired in. You see, you can't see any wires there, and that's just the way I've managed it. So look, how these work is, you can see like I've already put the strip into the channel and everything, and it sticks onto the top. So the first wire will come back down there to the right, and you'll stick on the next wire will come back down then, and it basically zigzags across and down to the bottom, and then the last one, so that's number 4, and then out the bottom. Okay, so the LED strip sticks onto the channel, and then you put the diffuser over it, and then you can just stick it on with double-sided tape. You will need double-sided tape. Now here you can see I've used the cable trunking, that's 25 centimeter length. I just cut the meter up into 4 parts. And you can open and close that, but it works very well to hide the cable. Otherwise you'd have those cables hiding where my finger is pointing to there, but you can see a little bit of cable. Now, the adhesive stuff isn't great. I had to use my own Gorilla tape, but that's how you did it.